Today, in Chapter 42 of Yoga Vasistha, we will discuss topics such as the similarity between a dreamer and a living being, the forms of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the great trouble of distraction, and the establishment of the true form as Brahma. O Ram, my dear disciple, as we begin this deep dive into the very fabric of existence, I want you to really open your mind. We're about to shatter the illusions of the material world, and uncover the pure, absolute truth of your own consciousness.
So, let's quickly outline our spiritual journey for today. We'll be looking at the dreamer and the soul, the cosmic roles of Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the cycles of time, the massive trouble of distraction, and finally establishing the true form. Then we'll wrap it all up with the chapter summary.
Section 1. The Dreamer and the Soul, a Cosmic Equanimity. Now, I want to gently invite you to question the absolute certainty of the world you're looking at right now.
To really grasp our waking reality, we first need to define what we call the dream man. The dream man is a projected entity. Think about it. When you sleep, your mind creates this vast, immersive world, right? Skies, mountains, even a physical body for yourself. And to the dream man, that world is entirely solid and real. He feels joy, he feels terror, he literally feels the wind on his face. It's only at that exact split second of awakening that the dream man realizes, wait, none of that actually existed outside my own mind.
And that brings us directly to verses 2 and 3 of our text. I tell you, Ram, the soul in the waking world and the man in the dream are fundamentally alike in their experience of illusion. The direct, literal meaning here is pretty staggering. There is mathematically zero difference between the dreamer and the living being. Philosophically speaking, just as the dream man's reality is forged entirely by the sleeping mind, this physical waking world you currently perceive, it's forged by cosmic illusion.
Just look at the profound parallel we're drawing here. The dream man is trapped in a temporary mental projection, while the living being, us, is trapped in the cosmic illusion, the Maya of the physical world. Both of these states are completely equal in their ultimate unreality. The suffering you experience in the waking world is honestly just as phantom-like as the suffering in a bad nightmare. Your true self is just the silent witness to both.
Okay, moving right along to Section 2, Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva, the One Soul. Let's see how this builds from the individual soul all the way up to the macrocosmic forces that govern the universe itself.
So, if the individual is dreaming, who is dreaming the universe? Well, this introduces us to a concept called Hiranyagarbha. This roughly translates to the golden womb, or the first man. You can think of Hiranyagarbha as the supreme cosmic mind. Just as your individual mind projects a dream at night, this cosmic mind is the exact origin point from which the grand universal dream and all the diverse roles within it first emerge into manifestation.
The really crucial point is captured right here in verses 4 and 5. The pure soul itself manifests as Brahma, Vishnu, and Shiva. The profound spiritual truth here, Ram, is that the ultimate, unconditioned soul is not separate from the supreme deities. The creator, the preserver, the destroyer, they are simply cosmic roles assumed by the one pure consciousness. It's all just the same singular light refracting through the prism of the cosmic mind.
Section 3. Roles in different kalpas. Let's expand our perspective even further, looking across the eternal cycles of time.
So when a new kalpa, which is a massive, almost incomprehensible era of cosmic time, begins, Hiranyagarbha manifests the overarching blueprint for this new cycle. From there, and this is super vital for you to grasp, souls assume different forms based entirely on their past impressions and deep-seated karma. A soul might be born as a god, a human, or even a demon in different kalpas. The outer costume changes infinitely, you see, but the inner, witnessing pure consciousness, that remains eternally untouched by whatever role it's currently playing in the cosmic drama.
Now, O Ram, in Section 4, the trouble of distraction, we need to shift our focus back from those cosmic heights to the urgent human condition right here, right now.
We really have to talk about extroversion, or what I like to call distraction. This is the outward turning of consciousness. When your mind constantly seeks fulfillment, validation, or pleasure in external objects, you become deeply entangled in the material world. This outward gaze is absolutely the root cause of our spiritual disorientation. Basically, when we endlessly look outward, we lose the self.
Listen to the deep wisdom of verse 23. Mental distraction and extroversion are a great trouble, binding the soul to the cycle of sorrow. The direct meaning is pretty clear. Losing focus causes pain, but the philosophical meaning goes infinitely deeper. Distraction literally pulls your awareness away from pure consciousness, basically cementing your belief that the illusion is real. It's a great trouble because it chains your infinite soul to finite, temporary sorrows.
So how exactly do we fall into that sorrow? Well, it begins when pure consciousness simply exists, blissful and completely free. But then attention turns outward. Because of this outward gaze, the mind mistakenly identifies itself as the physical body. It says, hey, I am this flesh, I am these titles. And finally, the great trouble and suffering begin. It's exactly like a man becoming so engrossed in his own dream that he forgets he's safely asleep in his bed, and instead, he's running in terror from dream monsters.
Section 5. Establishing the true form. Thankfully, Ram, there is an antidote to this great trouble of distraction.
That antidote is Swarupa Pratishtha. This literally means establishing oneself in the true form. It's the ultimate realization of your identity, not as a body, not as a mind, but as the absolute Brahma, the pure, undivided consciousness. This is the exact moment the grand illusion is finally, completely shattered.
So how do we actually achieve this in our daily lives? First, actively recognize the physical world as a temporary dream. When stress arises, just remind yourself it's fleeting. Second, withdraw your mind's attention from those relentless external distractions. You have to consciously turn off the noise. Next, turn inward to meditate on the pure, silent self right behind your thoughts. And finally, realize the soul is one with the absolute Brahma. By practicing this daily, Ram, you cut the ropes of extroversion and you anchor yourself in eternal peace.
Let's wrap things up with Section 6, our Chapter 42 summary.
As we draw this teaching to a close, let's synthesize our journey. The Dream Man concept reveals that our living soul is currently experiencing a massive illusion. Meanwhile, Hiranyagarbha shows us that the universe is really just a projection of a cosmic mind. We learn that distraction is the absolute root of all our worldly suffering, literally binding us to the dream. And Swarupa Pratishtha is our reality of ultimate liberation. The macrocosmic illusion and the microcosmic distraction are both cured by a single medicine, true self-knowledge.
I'll leave you, my dear disciple, with this final thought. If the waking world is but a cosmic dream, what will you choose to awaken to today? Will you remain lost in the extroversion of the great trouble, just constantly chasing shadows? Or will you turn inward, establish yourself in your true form, and realize your eternal unity with Brahma? The choice and the infinite peace that comes with it is entirely yours.